from somewhere else, but this is where we found ourselves. Welcome to the local show. People you work with, people you know.
Welcome to another edition of The Local Show here on GrassRoots Community Network. I'm Eric Scarvin, your host. Thanks for joining us, guys, this week, where each week we feature inspirational locals. Hope you caught our show with Michael and Selah Schneider last week. Selah became the youngest climber at 10 years old to scale the nose of El Capitan. Amazing show. And this week, I've got the world's oldest pro bull rider, a friend of mine known as Cowboy around town. It's Greg Casteel. Welcome to the show, Greg.
Thank you.
Good to see you. We could just call you Cowboy.
That works.
Yes. So thanks for being here, buddy.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, we got Luna on the set too, and we got a bunch of big buckles right there on the coffee table. And we're going to talk about your buckles, because the buckles, like in bull riding, is your awards, right? Your recognition, your story,
achievements,
your achievements, right?
That's it. Over the years.
Yeah, yeah. So you've got a couple different achievements there. Well, I guess being the world's oldest, you've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, yeah. So it's I'm into my actual 21st year of actual bull riding. I started in 1975.
Okay.
And from 75, I did 16 consecutive years, and then ended up just going into more business and hair. And then in 2014, I got back in the arena again, so I'm back in now for 5 more years. So that's where I'm at. So.
Unbelievable. Well, you grew up you were born and raised in Arkansas?
Yes.
So your background kind of, were you raised on a farm or a ranch? Or?
Yeah, we were, farmers
okay.
and round cattle.
Okay.
And it's really strange, there's been some of the top bull riders in the world come from my area. The guy that's #1 in the world right now is from the town, Chase Outlaw, that I rode my first bull in. So he is really putting a show on for the world right now.
Is it, what's his name?
Chase Outlaw.
Chase Outlaw. Oh, that's the guy's name.
That's him.
Okay,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So that's like a hotbed of bull riding. So that was a big influence, obviously, on you growing up.
Yeah, I mean, that's what turns out great bull riders, is when you supply a place for these kids to start,
Okay.
But when people, or parents have to drive 100 miles for their kids to get on a bull, that makes it a little bit hard,
Yeah, right.
But, we had a good background of bull riders in that area. And there's been some people come on. Mike Richards is one that I'm very proud of. We rode bulls together for a lot of years. So now this Chase Outlaw came from his training in his school. He puts an awesome training on down there for these kids, and he has 50 bulls right at his house. So, it's like you having 50 dogs that weigh 2,000 pounds in your backyard.
Down, boys, down.
Yeah.
A little different than a dog.
But Mike Richard my hat goes off to him, because he is the one that is putting these kids in the position to go forward to be world champions. And that's right where I started and grew up.
Sounds comparable to the kids growing up in Aspen. They got skiing right out their door.
That's it. Same thing.
Amazing facilities, amazing coaches.
That's
just
it.
The opportunity, right? It was right there for you.
Yeah, and see, bull riding, you wouldn't have that here.
Yeah.
But you have skiing. So, the skiing part is awesome, and it's obvious. Just watch the X Games, where some of these kids are coming from.
Right. I know I've tumbled down Highland Bowl, which is probably similar to bull riding. I got kind of beat up. I was pushing my limits.
Yeah.
There was a big, huge thing over me. It wasn't a bull. It was like the mountain itself.
Right. I got you.
So that's incredible. And so when did you first ride a bull? How old were you when you...
I was October of 1975. And the way this story went down is my dad owned a flying service, and I would work with him. It was a young kid on up, and crop dusting service. We were in farmland. So we were at a place called Winchester, Arkansas, doing a job that day, and this guy walks up, and he's got a white T-shirt on, and his muscles, you can count them, and I'm 12 or 13 years old, and my dad said, Greg, I want you to meet Chuck Blevins. He's a bull rider. And I just was looking up at him and I was like, wow. And I said, I want to be a bull rider. I remember saying that right then, that just looking at him.
You're just amazed at this guy's his physique and the way he presented himself.
And the way he presented himself.
Yeah.
And so he said, we're riding bulls Sunday. Get your dad to bring you down. And Dad, I bugged him. And he said, come on, we're going to go and get this over with real fast after one bull. So,
or so he thought.
The first one didn't go very well. I didn't have a lot of, it took most of the skin off of my back, the first one, and knocked the air out of me. And he said, well, that should do it, you know. And they asked, do you want another one? And I said, yes. So that's when it started. And that's when that particular year, it's a good time to show, you know, that particular year, I ended up winning 1976. So that was 75, the fall. And then in 76, I started on the rodeo circuit. And that particular year, I won all around cowboy on that one, which was bucking horses and bulls.
Okay.
And so that was that one. And that same year was the bareback riding, which is a bronc riding. So, So that was, I was off and running in 1976. I won 2 buckles, which is 2 championships that year.
That's amazing.
And,
in your first real year.
Kid. Yeah, first year out.
And you were 13 or 14?
13 by then. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So, but you know, it was Little Britches Rodeo. It wasn't pros or nothing. It was just the beginners.
Little Britches.
Still, in those days, you had to ride all year to win buckles. Nowadays, these kids, man, they can win one event and win like a world champion belt buckle. So nowadays, they make it very easy. But back in the day, and in the 70s and 80s, pretty much any bull rider will tell you that you had to ride hard and a long time just to win the championship, you know. Because, you know, you got to get on 30 or 40 bulls then to win it, and you had to be number one.
It's really a year-round commitment, and you had to do all these events. So it's the training, the actual competing, and then you finally, at the end of a season, might win a buckle.
Yes.
If you're one of the best.
If you're number one.
If you're number one.
Right.
Yeah.
No, number two.
Not second and third.
No, number 2 don't get anything.
They don't, they're not even, there's no podium.
No.
It's just the guy who wins, and that's it.
Yeah.
Gets a buckle. We're going to take a quick break, buddy. Rehydrate. We got, well, this isn't really hydration, but this is more in the reloading of calorie mode after we exercise. We'll talk about your barbecue sauce. We have so much to get to. We've got cowboy Greg Casteel, the world's oldest pro bull rider, and he's a local here in the Valley. We're going to be right back with Cowboy after this brief message from our underwriters. I do want to thank Aspen Square, Klug Properties, Independence Pass Foundation, Pitkin County Landfill, and Sundog Athletics. We'll be right back with much more from Cowboy Greg Casteel, the world's oldest pro bull rider, and he just had another birthday, so don't go away.
I'm so passionate about this community. I absolutely love living here and raising my family here. It gives me a lot of pride to share this with my friends and my clients and help them achieve their dreams of owning an Aspen Snowmass and enjoying this incredible lifestyle.
Celebrating another great summer season, Aspen Square Hotel is the hospitality place featuring fireplace studio suites and larger condominiums with full hotel-style services in the center of downtown Aspen. Aspen Square is proud to support The Locals Show.
Curbside recycling is now included with your trash service in Pitkin County. You can reduce your waste footprint and shrink your trash bill by recycling right. Learn more at landfillrules.com.
The Independence Pass Foundation, for 30 years restoring and protecting the ecological, historical, and aesthetic integrity of Independence Pass. To learn more, independencepass.org.
Sundog Athletics, Aspen's Adventure Sports School, is your opportunity to experience the most beautiful adventure locations and gain new skills to be safer, perform better, and have more fun. Fresh updates on mountain and road biking, hiking, canoeing, snowshoeing, and fat biking adventures at sundogathletics.com, Sundog Athletics on Facebook and Instagram.
Welcome to the local show. People you work with.
We're back here on the local show with Cowboy, Greg Casteel, good friend of mine. And, well, most recently, we just kind of got to know each other the last couple months, and I'd been hanging out at the Aspen Barber Shop, both getting haircuts, which I need again right now, and also setting up my Beamer, which is a whole nother conversation, but getting to know you and the owner, Eric Montemayor. And you guys are barbers, and how does a guy who rides bulls, a pro bull rider, kind of get into the barber business? Like, that doesn't seem like necessarily related. Or the
whole family is hair cutters. I mean, that's just
okay.
If my mother, my sister, my mother-in-law, my kids, everybody's hair cutters in my family.
Okay.
So all those years I was rodeoing, so I would come in off the road and I'd cut some hair. Hit the road again, come back, cut some hair, and it just kept me going, for a lot of years. Had a family and all, and so it's been a good combination.
Yeah.
And people knew that I was gone a lot, so they just wait on me to return each week, and I would drive 1,000 miles, man, to get home on Monday. Like from Davie, Florida, back to my house was 1,000 miles, so I'd drive all night after the bull riding. From Davie, which is right at Miami, and drive up to the Mississippi River, where I lived, and cutting hair on Monday morning, and I wouldn't say what the haircuts look like, but
yeah, I was gonna ask, are you ever just too beat up to do it? Were you ever just kind of
but
injured trying to cut hair?
Oh, yes, that's part of it, and that's the reason it's kind of hard to work for me, because if you say I fell down hiking this week and I'm kind of cracked my bone or something, I said, well, that's no reason not to show up to work, because I've cut hair so many times with broken bones. So come on to work.
Right. It's all relative to what you experienced.
Yes, unless you hit your head.
Now this is tough.
Yeah. So anyway, if you hit your head, okay, I understand. But if you fell down the mountain and you broke some ribs, come on to work.
Right. That's no excuse, man.
No excuse.
That's no excuse. So you've been cutting hair now over 40 years?
Yeah, if I make it to April this year, it'll be 40 years. I started in 1980.
Then you're at the Aspen Barber Shop now every Sunday, correct?
Yes.
And sometimes other days during the week to kind of fill in. And,
right.
And that's the barber shop down next to Sandy's Office Supply.
That's it.
And I want to give a shout out to Eric, who's a friend. And there's a story, I don't think we'll get to it on the show today, but that Eric actually got to try bull riding.
Oh, yes.
I read about that, actually, in the Aspen Times.
Yeah. I was cutting his hair, and he was like, he didn't know I was a bull rider at that moment. And he said, my bucket list is to ride a bull, because I had a hat on and all. And so I stopped cutting his hair, and I walk around and look at him in front of the barber chair, and I say, you really want to ride a bull? He said, yeah. And I said, okay, tomorrow. And he was like, what? So he left, and I called him that night and said, okay, I got it set up for tomorrow. So we're off and rolling, man. And he said that was an experience that he had never experienced before.
How did that go for him?
Yeah.
I mean, was he able to stay on at all?
He stayed on about 3 seconds and threw him pretty high up in the air.
And you could just remember him, like his body taking off like into the air.
I should have brought that video with us, man.
Well, we do have a video. We're gonna toss to that of you. There's one clip of you actually getting ready, like readying the bull. I don't know what you would call that, kind of roping up.
Yeah,
you're getting your hand placement.
Putting your rope on, and that's before like the other events are going on prior to that. And the bull riding is always last of the rodeo events. You got 7 events.
Okay.
Bull riding's last because half of the spectators will leave if they do bull riding first, because they're there to see the bull riding.
Right.
So
Keep
they do it last. So what you're seeing on that video is me gearing up.
Here we go, right here. Actually, describe what we're looking at here, buddy.
That's in Cody, Wyoming. And that's one of I highly recommend anyone, if you want to do a vacation, go up to Cody. Cody runs the largest rodeo in America at 90 rodeos in 90 days through the summer. Wow. So you can go up there and ride 90 bulls one summer and never leave Cody. It's amazing. And so it's called the Cody Stampede. It's a huge stadium there. It's a beautiful stadium. And
what are you doing? So you're tightening up the rope that you're going to actually hold on to, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that is the bull rope.
Is it leather, or is it like just rope, standard rope?
It is, it's a poly rope, and then it has
Okay.
leather that is braided in with the poly. Because
Okay.
it has to be very, very strong. I've actually,
Okay.
the power has broken in my hand before, broken those rope, you know, and it just pops you right out of there.
Wow.
So it's a rope that I shouldn't have been riding with, but I was partial to it, and it had a lot of bull rides under it. And
oh, so you supply your own rope?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
your
all the gear.
personal
Right.
preference, like
Yeah,
your
you
rope.
got your ropes and your chaps and your
Okay.
spurs, and that's
Okay.
all private gear, you know. And the contractors bring the bulls, and
Okay.
people ask me all the time, said, "You have to take your own bull to the rodeo?" I said, "Oh, no." I said, "That's not how it works." I said, "You know, I can drive a Volkswagen, you know, a doodlebug, throw my rigging bag, which is in the back of it, and I'm ready to go. I don't have horses. I don't have any of that." So.
Right.
No, it's just all your gear that you need for, you know, if you were cutting hair, you need all your hair gear. If you're riding bulls, you need all your gear.
Like tools of the trade.
That's it.
Tools of your trade. Now we want to take a look at an actual ride. Here's a short clip of you actually bull riding. We're going to take a look at that. Maybe you could kind of describe what we're looking at here. I don't know if this is up in Cody. Let's take a peek here.
Yeah, this is the same bull I was just
Okay.
gearing up on. And right here, I get my feet popped behind me. And if you could slow that down, it slammed me down if you put it in slow motion. And him coming up and my ribs hitting right there, I cracked a rib just on that particular ride, you know. And that's through the vest. I had a protective vest on.
Right, because you guys wear vests almost like a police officer, right? Like almost like a bulletproof vest?
Yeah, it's
different material. Yeah.
But it's mandatory now because it's just been so many serious injuries to the bodies. And,
It looks like guys, and here's a great shot of you and your barbecue sauce. You've got buck and barbecue sauce. Let's talk about that since it came up on the screen. Now, how did this get going?
I had after I had won the received the Guinness World Record, I just had always kind of wanted to do a product, and I thought, hey, I'm going to do my own barbecue sauce, and so it's on the front of this. It is the bull that I set the world record on, and I've signatured it, so it is my signature barbecue sauce. And
that's 9/11, right? The bull.
That's Ground Zero. Ground Zero 9/11 is
That's
the
the
bull
name.
that. Yes.
Okay.
And so it's going well. I've got IMG, which is one of the largest sports agency in the world, that picked me up and sponsored me, and they own the PBR, which is Professional Bull Riders. And so anyway, it's been a good gig for me, and we're just keep pushing along with it.
So what's the best to pair this with? Ribs, or what do you? Sorry, not to talk about ribs. These are not cracked and broken ribs.
You know,
These
I'm
are
a
actual
pork man.
beef or pork ribs.
I'm a pork man all
ribs.
the way, you know, and Boston butts and all that, and or you can make it so you can cook it with it on there, or you use it as a dipping sauce. You know, just put it in a little bowl, and you know, you carve off some of that pig and dip it in there and go at it.
Oh man, can I trade you cookies for barbecue sauce?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, we'll figure out.
Are they as good?
Well, you know what? We'll have to do some tasting and bartering after the show.
No, we'll just pour barbecue sauce over the top.
Yeah, man. Do it all. Just do it all, man.
Yeah.
So tell us a story. You know, it's hard for 99.9% of people to relate to riding a bull. This is a 2,000-pound animal with an attitude, pretty much.
Right.
I don't know if you ever come across calm, relaxed bulls. I guess they don't really make the cut for the bull riding circuit.
There are some. I always like to tell people that it's all about DNA, because you got a honeybee and you have a hornet. They both fly. They can both sting you, but most likely the bee's not just going to come over there and sting you because you're walking by, but a hornet will. And probably 90% of bulls' DNA is made up like a hornet. You know, he wants to sting you or kill you. You know, that's how they're made.
That's how they get chosen to test you guys.
And my experience, and most bull riders will tell you this, that the crazier the bulls and harder to handle, they're harder to ride. I mean, their spirit is way, way up there, high level. And you have that just like a human, you know. You got a high-spirited boxer fighter. I mean, he's got some energy coming out of him, you know.
Yeah.
And then you got the old guy that's just barely punching, you know. It's just DNA deal, I think.
Right.
Because some of the top bulls in the world right now is all about DNA, of how, breeding these bucking bulls to buck harder and harder and harder.
Right.
And,
they
it's
keep
huge.
stepping up the level.
Oh, yeah.
And
it's
learning.
nothing. These buckles down here in the years of 76, 87, on up, the bull caliber then is nothing like it is today, because there's millions of dollars involved in this breeding program of bucking bulls.
Okay.
So it's just
if you looked at these buckles right here, and you attach that to an event or to a particular bull, is there a story that comes to mind, like with one of these buckles in this ride? Because you got to get to 8 seconds on these 2,000-pound just wild animals, that just want to buck you off and sting you, like you said, like a hornet. Is there a short story you could share with us?
Yeah, I mean, it's like this buckle right here in 1987. This was a Cruise Rodeo company, and I had won the championship. It's right there for that particular year, and I had to ride the whole year for that. It probably took, that particular buckle, I'm guessing, was probably 35 bulls that I had to win.
Wow.
To win that particular buckle. And then if you come down a year to like this buckle here in 1977, there was a bull, Harry O. And Harry O was known to have a poor attitude. We knew he would hurt you. Everyone knew that. And but he was a good bull to win on. And Harry O was a black bull, kind of looked like the bull we just saw on the screen there.
Okay.
Similar look, but he had bigger horns. So anyway, about 3 or 4 seconds into the ride, he threw me off, and I hit right on my hands and knees. And when I turned to look back, he was about 1 foot from my rear end, and he hit me and knocked me about 25 foot through the air. And he was waiting on me. So as my body was flying through the air, he was waiting on me to hit the ground. And when I hit the ground, he got right down on top of me and put his knees down on the ground, and I'm underneath him. And when he got through with me, my shirt was gone, my chaps were ripped off of me, and I couldn't get out from under him. I mean, he was a big man.
He was really trying to get you.
Oh, yeah.
He had a plan.
And I knew whenever I got in that position, this is not going to be good.
This is like you're so exposed and vulnerable.
Right.
So the bull's like, with his head?
He took most of the skin off my back with his horns, because
Okay.
he was just like raking them across my back, because I was down like this. So finally, the bullfighters kept slapping him, and he got the bull away from me and toward them. And I did walk away from it, but he made a point.
Yeah, no pun intended. He took his points.
Oh yeah,
pointy horns.
Yeah, so that's just one. There's many of them. There's hundreds of bull rides, over the years, and
so when you fall off, some of them will turn and try to get you. Like they'll go after you, right?
Oh yeah.
So when you come off the bull, you're trying to run off as quick as you can, basically get away.
It's pretty amazing when you have a motivator that's 2,000 pounds behind you. You can roll when you have to.
Right. You just did your best Usain Bolt sprinting Olympic sprinter imitation ever.
Yeah.
You were super motivated to get up and climb that over the rail, right?
Oh yeah, man. It's one of them things that I've seen guys honestly with broken legs, broken two, and still run.
Oh my
because that
it
bull
could get worse.
Is right. Oh, it could get worse. So you're going to try to get out of the way, whatever it takes, unless you're knocked out, and that happens a lot too. It's the most dangerous sport in the world, and for reason, it's just 2,000 pounds, or some of we're talking about 1,500 up to 2,200 pounds of animal, and with an attitude.
So you had a big birthday yesterday. I'm coming up on it next month. 58. We're down to just a minute left. But how long do you see yourself riding bulls? Now that you're 58, you keep setting the Guinness Book of World Records each year.
Well, the Guinness is like this. I won it, and the GWBR is Guinness World Bull Riding Record, and we're taking that. My plan, I've got that in 6 countries. around the world to win the world. It's just the plan that I came up with and for the Guinness World Bull Riding Record. So, you know, we'll see. I'm working with St. Jude's Children's Hospital, and we'll see where it goes.
Okay, buddy, did you have fun on the show today?
I did.
I wish we had more time, but we'll have you back on.
All right, man.
Thanks, Cowboy. Congratulations, man. World-class bull rider. This is the least I can do. You got some of my cookies, reusable coffee travel mug.
Cool.
Thank you, Luna, and thank you guys for watching this week on The Local Show.
All right.
I'm so passionate about this community. I absolutely love living here and raising my family here. It gives me a lot of pride to share this with my friends and my clients and help them achieve their dreams of owning an Aspen snowmass and enjoying this incredible lifestyle.
Curbside recycling is now included with your trash service in Pitkin County. You can reduce your waste footprint and shrink your trash bill by recycling right. Learn more at landfillrules.com.
The Independence Pass Foundation, for 30 years restoring and protecting the ecological, historical, and aesthetic integrity of Independence Pass. To learn more, independencepass.org.
Sundog Athletics, Aspen's Adventure Sports School, is your opportunity to experience the most beautiful adventure locations and gain new skills to be safer, perform better, and have more fun. Fresh updates on mountain and road biking, hiking, canoeing, snowshoeing, and fat biking adventures at sundogathletics.com, Sundog Athletics on Facebook and Instagram.
Welcome to